Okay, well, welcome to part 2 of the Gridiron Kendallville Sports Talk Show. Here with my sidekicks, my co-host Tony Blomeke, Charlie Barnum, a color commentator, and our secret celebrity star this week is senior linebacker and team captain for the East Noble Knights, Alex Frick, son of Scott and Cindy Frick here in Kendallville, longtime friend. Known Alex since he was a little kid, not so little anymore. Well, what is your size, by the way?
I weigh around 200 pounds and
before the pads, right?
And 5'10".
Okay. Well, I tell you what, the game last night, I mean, it seemed like you and Walker Boyles were just in on every play, every tackle. I mean, I know everybody with the new offense, East Noble's been talking about the offense, but I mean to tell you, your defense, you've given up 2 touchdowns in 2 games. And the first game was at the end of the game, it was with your backup team. So against your starters, you've only given up 7 points. That's impressive. Now, tell me about team captain. How were you chosen? I mean, how many team captains are there on the team this year?
We have 4 team captains.
Okay.
And I think Coach Amstutz just saw which seniors were leading through the summer, getting the work done in the weight room and during practice, and kind of chose off that. We usually have have the players vote for the senior captains, but I think he went with his new way, just like everything else.
Okay, now, we talked earlier off air about you hit that quarterback last night. Were you the one that actually took him out of the game? Did you hit him in the legs? Where did you tackle him?
Yeah, I hit him right below the knee, and I heard a crunch and pop, and called for the trainer right away because I know he was in some pain.
Okay. Defense played really well. Charlie, ask him any questions, or just kind of, why don't you go over the highlights of the game last night? You've got the stats, the numbers of the game. What stood out in last night's performance?
For me, was the ability for Weimer to throw the ball to several receivers, and I thought he threw the ball as well as anyone I've seen in a long time. And there was a couple of times, I know, you threw an interception the week before and Coach said something, you know, you don't have to throw it to him, you could always run the ball.
Alex, you know, what are your future plans? What do you like to study? What's your major going to be? You know, where you're going to go to college yet? Have you thought this through yet?
I've gotten one letter to go to Anderson for football, and I am currently doing ICE at East Noble. I'm teaching at Adult Elementary. So the plan was to be a teacher, and I think after this year I'll have a good understanding of if I want to pursue that career of being a teacher.
Okay. Charlie, on a personal note, it's got to be very special for you to be out there on the field at East Noble and watching Nate Weibel play defensive back.
Well,
tell me about that.
It really is, but I don't like to even talk about it because I just don't want that relationship to bother other people. And anytime a coach steps up to him and has something to say, I go the opposite direction. So, yeah, I enjoy watching him play, but I enjoy a lot of his buddies that I've seen grow up playing baseball and football. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, he's playing really well. One thing I will, I'm sure you guys are aware of this, and I'm going to remind you, 11 of the last 12 years in our conference, the winner of the Homestead East Noble game has been the conference championship. And guess who was the 12th? Harnish, Norwell. So basically, you know, we look ahead to next Friday night. That's typically the game. What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously you had a great win last night. You don't really get to enjoy it. I'm sure you're already thinking about Homestead. It's going to be a tall order. They don't rebuild, they reload. They have scored 60 the first 2 games.
They scored 100 points in the first 2 games.
Yeah, but obviously they haven't played our defense yet. So obviously I think we're going to score. It's obviously going to be up to your defense to stop them. Obviously you're going to play hard. Are there any special, I don't want to give your game plan away, but are there any special things that you're looking to do, or do you know anything about them that you could use to stop them?
We know their skill positions might be some of the best in the state, but they haven't played our defense yet, so we're going to go in with confidence, and I mean, we got the best best coaches around, and they're going to prepare us for this game. And it's going to be a battle down there.
It's gonna be a war. Tony, I know you're looking for. They're usually classic matchups. What was it, a couple years ago? It was 49-46. It was a shootout.
Yep. That was the game. I chose not to go to the game that night, and being a Garrett grad, I wanted to go. I was going to go to the Garrett game, and my daughter, we went over to her house, and I drove from Auburn to her. And the time it took me to drive from Auburn to Garrett, 3 scores, and I hadn't played 5 minutes. I'm thinking, maybe I should have gone that.
Steve, we got to give some credit too to the coaching staff. I'm not considered part of the coaching staff, but I help. We have a great coaching staff, and Coach Homestead is just amazing.
I have a question, Scott, Alex. I did it again. I made that a slip up. Scott Frick has got more tackles than any dad in the history.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks to Tony.
Alex,
right?
here's my question. I keep hearing about the offense, and I know that Coach Amstead was actually an assistant at one time to Coach Depew. Are there any similarities other than, I know the big difference is the pace, but is there anything, terminology, or things that we're using that were actually implemented before? You know, you're a defensive where you probably
Well, we have changed. What I know from the offense, we've changed everything, like the words and like the code words or whatever you could say. We're all like symbols and like a no huddle offense instead of your basic power. So,
are they new plays or are they just new terminologies and new tempo?
well, we have
some of the things are new.
Some of the same plays are the same, but a lot of it's new.
If you watch through these ball games, it's difficult for teams if there's no auto defense. Because we're on the line of scrimmage, they're still trying to make the call, and then we adjust, we shift, we go in motion. It makes it tough for defensive backs and linebackers.
Early in the game, the first series, they had no clue we were. I wonder about their coaching and their scouting because they had no clue we were going to do that.
Right.
They're standing 5 yards off the wall, looking at the sideline. If our kids would have been, if Peyton Manning would have been there,
We would have snapped the ball. That's exactly right.
Yeah, well, we had that opportunity. Now, I'm knowing the Homestead personnel, coaching-wise, that's not going to be an issue this week.
To run this long,
They will be aware of it. Now, what they probably won't have the capabilities of doing is, you know, Charlie, as a coach, we always try to simulate the opponent.
You can't charge it.
If you don't do that regularly, it's kind of like Notre Dame playing Navy. You don't run that, so it's
The
a whole
wishbone.
new look.
That's exactly right.
So this can be difficult for them to simulate the pace of the game.
One thing, yeah, it does. It also doesn't allow you to substitute on defense. You can't really put in different packages because, you know, we're ready to snap the ball and go. Last night we ran, what, 75 plays, which is actually a low number for us. We've been in
They
the 80s.
held the ball for so long, Alex.
Yeah, after the first quarter, I mean, I was a little worried. I mean, you guys got off to a really slow start. After the second stop, after their second drive and you stopped them, I think they fumbled on like the 31. After that, the game was over.
Well,
They didn't move it the rest of the game.
Here's the one issue, and I used to be an official. I don't want to knock officials, but every officiating crew has a pace in which they're accustomed to working, and that is the one wild card with the pace we want to play, because they're only going to, you know, from an official standpoint, seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
They're going to work their own pace, but there's also, from the code of ethics, it would be wrong for them to hurry up and move the ball really fast, because that in effect would not be officiating, it would be aiding one of the teams. They can't move at a pace which would help one team against the other, but they should, but they can't work at the right opposite of that is also true. They cannot deliberately slow down their pace to aid the defensive team.
Were you aware, Tony, last night during the game? I mean, we were on the field. I don't know if you were. You may have been aware of this. Northridge, actually, their coaches asked at one point during the game, I'm not sure when it happened, but they asked the referees if they could take a 3-minute water break because of the heat. They're trying to slow down hurry up our first pace offense. And, you know, and I guess they asked Coach Amstead about it, and he said, "What, are you guys, do you need a drink? Are you thirsty?" And, you know, because they just wanted to slow the tempo down.
And it wasn't that hot last night. As a matter of fact, when he made that call, I said, is this timeout for the teams or for the referees?
That's exactly right.
And they said it was really hot. Well, it might have been at 7 o'clock or 9. It wasn't
We didn't
hot.
start till 7:30.
You see, Tony, this goes right back to what you're talking about. It's just a way of, not only is this pace hard for the defense to keep up, it's hard for the umpires to keep up.
And at the same time, like I say, they should not speed up and deliberately move to see how fast the ball set, because that would be hitting slow.
Right.
Or any team. Now, does Homestead really know offense? They've dabbled with it at times after that.
I'm not sure, but I mean, anything is possible. We haven't really.
The playbook for them is pretty deep. They'll use everything, reverse.
They've been running the same offense for the past 20 years or so.
Because Coach Zalman, I think, was an assistant to Coach Cavassini. I think in the history of Homestead football, they only had Bob Wyant, Gary Cavassini, to Chad Zalman, which is an amazing thing.
Well, we'll be playing on another turf field, though, won't we?
Yeah.
Which I think is an advantage to our kids when they play.
I just hope
going on grass, it's tough.
I just hope it doesn't rain. I hope it's good weather. You know, let's duke it out with them. I like our chances. I think it's going to come down to who's got not the best offense. I think it's going to come down to who's got the better defense. And Alex, I think what you guys have done. I mean, you guys. You may not always be the biggest or the best or fastest, but you guys play as a unit. You gang tackle, and you've got some heart. You play really hard out there.
They're improving every game.
So how many
2 games?
Obviously, you've gone from a 4-3 to a 3-4. What other changes have occurred to the defense?
Well, we've like what you said, we've like have another outside linebacker that can also play up to the defense. Yeah.
Right.
So,
which is typical of the 3-4 defense, right, Coach Barnum?
Yeah.
Talk about your 2 big boys there in the middle. I mean, you got Demuth. Who's the other big boy? I mean,
Tyler Primus.
What is he, like 350? How big is that kid? He's
About
huge.
330, yeah.
330. I mean, that's tough. If you're going to run up the middle.
Yeah, he is awesome. He takes on double teams and triple teams like it's his day job, and just clears open giant holes for me walking the field and make plays.
Right.
I mean, they get another quarterback too, so it's in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are enjoying the season. Obviously, you're off to a good start. You mentioned the summer. I mean, was it difficult with the weightlifting and all that? I mean, you were really into the season, ready for the season. You think all the hard work is paying off?
Definitely. This off season has been the hardest I've gone through in the past 3 years. He just wants to make everything fast. Every lift is fast, and like every conditioning is fast. And I think it's paying off so far.
You know, years ago, you couldn't even have a football on the practice field with the coach and the players. And we've actually practiced June, July, and August.
Tony, do you have any other questions for Alex, our guest today?
What about Tyler? I see Tyler Household is named the Scholar Athlete of the Week. So, where do you rank in there? You going to be the next Scholar Athlete?
I'm not sure how that's.
I know. I did hear last night he has a 4.0, so we have to hack on that. He's doing the dual action football this year, soccer as well. So he had a very nice goal. By the way, it was Homestead.
I've watched a lot of punters and kickers, and I told him personally, he's got the most potential of any kid I've seen.
Well, because I remember John Lash did that. And here's the thing, John was the goalie. What's up, man? So
I didn't say that right.
Every time he had to make that long kick, on Thursday, you know, there's a thing about getting tired. It's not the tired leg. Well, John would kick the ball 40 or 50 times when he had saves and he had opportunities. The goal, then he go out on Friday night. I think the thing Tyler's battling through right now is when you double, you don't get the reps and practices with the other guys. And I think that showed the first week with his place kicking a couple times. He won the field goal. He rushed out there and didn't realize with that play clock because he had to do that as a time. He was just remember the football team. You're right. He has enough. His punts are almost always pointed up like a turtle.
They are, you know.
Not turning over yet.
A lot of the punters, they think the ball has to be a sprawl to be a great punt. And it's nice, but he can kick it.
It might also be more difficult to catch one.
It's more difficult, and it rolls and rolls and rolls.
Alex, tell me who your other linebackers? Who's back there with you?
Walker Royals plays inside linebacker with me, and Jake Pearson, he's strong side outside linebacker, and then Brock Thompson, starter inside.
Yeah, Peterson had a pretty good game too last night.
Brock's not a real big kid.
No, Brock's not the biggest kid, but he's a tough kid.
He played some quarterback, I believe, well.
Now, one thing I've already seen on Facebook, on the internet, it's like, well, East almost 2-0, Homestead's 2-0. They haven't been tested yet. I don't know. You know, you played the games. I mean, you got to. They're on your schedule. You got to play. You beat who you're supposed to play. Homestead. I know they beat Huntington. They beat Warsaw. I don't know how good those teams are. I do think when you play each other, it's going to be a real good barometer of how good you are. Because I mean, you both probably are elite of the conference. Would you agree with that statement? I mean, do you think you've been challenged? Are you ready for a first conference game to be that caliber?
I tell you, I mean, we got a whole week of preparation to go through. I mean, we haven't even looked into what they got. I'm sure they haven't looked into what we got. So Monday we'll hit full bore and be ready to go.
We're very busy. I can tell you right now, the coaches got them doing a little bit of everything every day. They watch film every day. They hit a specialty every day, and I will guarantee you, Coach Hampstead will have to.
Well, one thing about Nick, he didn't start well. I guess he started part time. He and Spears kind of alternated, but he is back. They're starting a new quarterback. I don't know what grade he is. I have no idea if he's a junior, senior, sophomore. It doesn't matter. I'm sure he's good.
I think he's the senior.
But I do like the fact that Nick's got some experience. And there again, I would take, in a game like that, I would take the quarterback. I think our defense is better.
They have, we say they have a quarterback, but I think they're in the same situation. Because last year Terrell would get them such huge leads. That kid's got lots of reps too. So
well, that's true
he wasn't
too.
a starting quarterback. He's got lots of reps. You know, in fact, I think he played against us last year. So, and they also have the Isaac kid who is going, as you say, IU. His dad is no, it's Griffin. Isaac Griffin. His dad is the coach at Manchester College, or Manchester University now.
Is he running back? What position he plays?
He's a wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
But he actually played some quarterback growing up. But you know, because Terrell was ahead of him, he made another move, and obviously he's getting a D1 scholarship, Big Ten. It's paying off for him. So, you know, that would be a nice one if you're now cast into that starting role to have that kid up there to look for and to find and do some second things down. So.
I think it's going to be interesting just to see the character of the kids. Neither team, like I said, has been tested, and this is going to be a nail biter. I mean, it could come down to the last who has the ball last. And
you know, Warsaw beat the first team that we thought was pretty good in Columbia City. Warsaw handled them pretty handily, and then they turned around and got drilled last night at Homestead. So if you get into that mindset of comparing sports,
you can't do that.
You can't do that, but if you get into it,
right,
you know, that's pretty scary how good Homestead can be.
Well,
Warsaw, I believe, next opponent over there next year.
Yeah, we're dropping Northridge.
Yeah, Warsaw will take that place. So I don't know how that's falling out because that means Homestead can't be playing second league than we are. So how that's working out for them, I don't know. But yeah, we pick up Warsaw next year and lose Northrop.
And we still play Northrop?
Northrop, a 5A school.
Yeah.
Warsaw, 5A school. Homestead, a 5A school.
Yes.
Are any of those 6A schools?
Well, no, not yet. They haven't decided.
I think it starts next year,
They're
right?
watering it down some more.
Well, they're going to take the top 32. I think it starts next school year.
Right.
The top 32 are 6A. 33 through 64 are going to be in 5A.
Correct, but I'm just wondering if one of those, I can't think one of those three would be big. Especially the Northrop.
Oh, I'm sure
They have the
Northrop
numbers in
and
football, they have the numbers in.
Yeah. I'm sure Homestead and Northrop will both be 5A or 6A. Absolutely. Alex, is there anything else on your mind you want to talk about last night's game? Anything that we did Fred interview after the game?
You survived?
What'd you guys talk about?
Did you get to talk?
Yeah, I got we just talked about how just playing inside linebacker, how you just have to be the tough-nosed kid. You just gotta just strap it on and just be mean and not feel pain.
You know, one of the neatest things I've seen is when after the ball game or before the ball game, when these knights come on the field, these little league football players, they love it. They high-five those guys. They're just having a great time being able to compete with these guys.
Well, no, I agree with that, Charlie. I think it's middle school, but I also think that's very neat and interesting and fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. Or we got a new band director last year, and I can't remember his name, but
Brian Munoz.
yeah.
He's terrific. Was it something
Well,
old?
here's the thing. Not stepping on that. Here's the thing he does. He wants to be there. He wants to be part of not football, but part of Eastern athletics. He wants to be part of the Eastern community. He's out there. You know, they played at almost every boys or girls home basketball game last year too. He wants to be a part of it. He's coming up with new stuff. He wants to be involved well, and now they do the he's put that in for football.
That's pretty cool.
You know, he doesn't want to just go out there and play it as they expect him to. He wants to be out there Walmart and be part of it. So it's great. It's fantastic.
And after the ball game, the team and the band high-fived each other.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Dubuque showed a little emotion last night too, didn't he? On that one
You
sack, he's
gotta be a
doing
little careful of that. Do you see the celebration?
I thought he was going to get flagged for
Yes,
that.
because he
would.
well, now then he dropped. He was going to do a pose.
Yeah, like the height. Did you see that? It was,
I think he was going to do the same Bolt pose or whatever. That would have got him a little.
yeah, I thought he was going to
I
get
don't know who'd
flagged
have
for
worse
that.
that. Coach Amstutz or Drake would have got the flag if he had got him.
Definitely be coaching.
Now your defense, though. Speaking of penalties, you guys had some last night on defense. They were mainly defensive. That's okay. You're aggressive, but I think you ended up with what, almost 90 yards of penalty, 85. Your defensive backs had a couple late hits, I think. I think there was a face mask in there as well.
Yeah, a couple face masks by
I don't know who he is now.
That's when Coach Barnum was walking away.
But I mean, they were just playing aggressive and just wasn't even.
They stuck it out there. I grabbed it, right?
Well, we really appreciate the gridiron here. Them letting us, host the show here. Colts game's going to be starting here shortly, about 10 minutes. And come on out to the gridiron, get some food, watch the game. There's 8, 10 TVs out here. And we really appreciate them giving us the opportunity to interview Alex today. It was a pleasure to have him on. And we'll see you next week before the Colts game. Game number 4, the final preseason game of the season. Thanks, everybody, for watching.